Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today with a video on Divinity Original Sin 2. As most of you know on the channel, I'm a big fan of the first entry in this franchise, as I mention it all the time in the Elder Scrolls 6 wishlist series, and I had a chance to go hands-on with Divinity Original Sin 2, and I'm here to bring you guys my thoughts and tell you why you need to care about this game if you love RPGs. For starters, Divinity Original Sin 1 is one of those games that puts role-playing at the forefront, and if I could tell anything from the comments I get on each and every video, that's something you guys care a lot about. Now I know for some people the strategic gameplay might be a turnoff, but this is one of the smartest combat systems out there in gaming today, because it's all about utilizing the elements around you. For example, making it rain, creating a puddle, and shocking that puddle could electrocute multiple enemies on the battlefield. Or, for example, you could inflict bleeding damage to an enemy, then electrocute that blood puddle. The combat system is about as expansive as your mind. But enough about the original game. What makes Divinity Original Sin 2 so special so far? Well, I think any great sequel starts off with remembering what made the first entry special. What is important to note about the first Divinity Original Sin game is that they weren't like a lot of games nowadays, which is they unveil this new franchise, it's not that good, but you can see that with criticism and taking feedback into account, that the next entry could be very good. For example, Watch Dogs to Watch Dogs 2. Big difference there. First Divinity Original Sin came out of the gates, strong title, really incredible. It released an enhanced edition which really added more voice acting and allowed it to be on consoles as well. But what 2 does is evolves and remembers what made the first one special, which was role-playing, choice. Oh my goodness, it is there right off the bat. I'm talking you can screw people over right from the get-go. Sure, there are fail states which you can make the wrong choice and it'll screw you over, but that's what I love about these types of games. Think of the original Fallouts where you could literally get screwed over at the Mariposa military base. I know that may sound tedious for people, but that's what's great about role-playing games. Choice with consequence. There were many choices I made throughout just an hour demo where I got decimated because of it, but I got a good laugh out of it. And I thought, maybe if I'm really into this character I'm building, I have to be evil, then I'll really go that extra mile, level up, come back to this person, fuck them over. And that's something that I think is really special about these type of games. But I also mentioned evolution. How does this game evolve from the first one? Well, in this title, you can actually pick your race and origin story, something akin to Dragon Age Origins, where when you started that game, you were picking a race and origin story, and it was referenced many times throughout the game. For example, you can be an elf, and what's special about that class is you can eat human remains and gain their memory. So if you kill someone, you can find out everything they know. How insanely awesome does that sound to you people? Because I love that type of stuff. It was also highly touted with this game, the cooperative play. It was surprisingly good 2-player co-op, and this game takes it a step forward, and now it's going to be 4-player co-op. So for those of you who maybe aren't a fan of these types of strategy games, get a couple of friends involved, making choices together. This could be some great fun to play together. On top of that, I know a lot of my viewer base still mods, for example, Fallout 4, Skyrim, and this game is going to have dedicated mod support. I think that is music to a lot of our ears, that not only after this incredibly lengthy game, the first one took me upwards of 100 hours to complete, I'm sure this game will be no different, that we're going to have great mods come to the title. There's also a plethora of classes to select from at the beginning of the game, ranging from Battle Mage, Cleric, Enchanter, Fighter, Knight, Ranger, Rogue, Shadowblade, Wayfarer, Witch, Wizard, and they're actually adding brand new classes thanks to the funding on their Kickstarter, which is completely done at this point in time, such as a class that can transform the world around them, for example, resurrecting a totem pole from the ground in a poison pool and then it turns into a poison turret, being able to fly, things that really change the dynamics of the game, where a lot of this gameplay took place on flat ground, hills accounted for as well, but now there's going to be more verticality included in the title because of these brand new classes, thus evolving the game in general. Because what's great about this combat system, as I'm talking about it, I'll mention that what you can use against your enemies, they can use against you, making it a difficult one at that. Where I was mentioning earlier how, oh, I can make it range and shock a puddle, it's not just a power trip, the enemy can do that to you, as well as some other very intelligent tactics. You may remember I said this was my most anticipated game of fall 2016. Turns out it released in early access at the end of 2016, and it's still in early access now. I'm not entirely sure when it's exactly going to come out as a full version, but I cannot wait for that day, because a deeper, darker story, 4-player co-op, improved combat, new classes, new races, origin stories. This is true role-playing, and I can't get enough of that type of stuff, and I know that you guys out there value that in a video game, which is exactly why I'm emphasizing that you really do look into this franchise. If you don't like it, no problem, but I really suggest that you do give it a chance. It completely deserves it. It's old school in the sense where you might get pissed off a couple of times when you get screwed over or you die too many times because of the brutal combat system difficulty, as well as decisions you might make that'll lead you to a fail state. But myself as a gamer, I really do value that type of stuff because a lot of games nowadays offer the illusion of choice that, oh, you can do that, but not really. This game allows you to go forth with that choice, even if it's a bad choice that'll inevitably screw you over, or maybe a bad choice that'll screw someone else over, or a decision that'll purely benefit you or those around you. Really, like I said, choice is at the forefront of this game, along with very smart combat and expansion upon the original ideas while remembering what made the first game special. So if you couldn't tell, I'm very much looking forward to this title, not just because of my hands-on time with it, I was already anticipating it beforehand, but this definitely sealed the deal for me, just to get my hands on the game and see what it was all about. I played what most people have already seen. The only new thing I saw, which sadly I wasn't able to capture, was the new classes that were unlocked through the Kickstarter. That's all I have to say about Divinity Original Sin 2. I hope you guys are interested in Divinity Original Sin at this point. If you are, go ahead, look into the Enhanced Edition. I cannot recommend it enough. It's one of the best RPGs I have played in recent years, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments down below. So be sure to fire away, people. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are, as always, in the description down below. Do consider contributing to the Patreon. It helps fuel all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.